Hey, welcome to the Explainer. Today, we're going to tackle something super useful in German, comparisons. You know, how to say something is bigger, better, or the absolute best. If you've ever gotten stuck on that, don't worry. We're about to break it all down, step by step.
Okay, so here's the game plan. We'll start with the easy stuff, comparing equals. Then we'll get into making things more than something else. And of course, how to find the very best. After that, we'll hit those weird irregulars, the important ones, and finish up with some common traps to watch out for. Sound good? Let's go.
So yeah, this is really the big question, isn't it? How do you actually say bigger, better, or best in German? It seems simple, but there are a few moving parts. Stick with me though, and I promise by the end of this, you'll totally get it.
All right, let's dive into section 1. We're starting with the basics, comparing equals. And you gotta walk before you can run, right? So before we talk about how things are different, we need to know how to say they're the same. This is the absolute foundation.
So this starting point is called the positive degree, or Grundstufe in German. Don't let the fancy name fool you. It's literally just the basic adjective you'd find in a dictionary. Think cheap, tasty, old. No extra endings, no fuss. Super simple.
And here's the best part. The formula for saying as is so easy. It's like a little sandwich. You have so on one side, V on the other, and you just stick your adjective right in the middle. That's it. So plus adjective plus V. Let's see how it works.
Okay, check this out. Coke is so billig wie Pepsi. See? Coke is as cheap as Pepsi. You've got your so, your adjective billig, and then V. It perfectly frames it, telling us these two things are on the same level, price-wise. Easy peasy.
Okay, section 2. We've totally nailed how to say things are the same, but what if they're not? It's time to level up and start comparing things that are actually different. This is where it gets really interesting.
This next level is called the comparative degree, or the comparative. And its whole job in life, its one purpose, is to show that one thing has more of a quality than something else. And a key thing to remember, we're only ever talking about two things here.
And the formula for this, again, super straightforward. It's a two-step process. Step 1, you tack an onto the end of your adjective. Step 2, you use the magic word als, which means than. And that's it. The two things you need to remember are and als.
Let's look at our Coke and Pepsi example again. See what changed? Billig is now billiger, and instead of we're using als. So, Coke ist billiger als Pepsi. Coke is cheaper than Pepsi. Bam! It's that direct.
All right, time for section 3, finding the very best. We've done as, and we've done than. Now we're going for the gold. This is the final boss level of comparisons. How you say something is the absolute most. And for that, we need the superlative degree, the superlative. You pull this one out when you're not just comparing two things, but you're comparing something to a whole group, 3 or more things, and you want to crown a winner, the one at the very, very top.
And guess what? There's a simple formula for this too. It's another frame. This time, you put am at the beginning and you tack sten onto the end of the adjective. So it's always am isten. Let's try it with our example.
Boom. There you go. Coke ist am billigsten. Coke is the cheapest. See? It's not just cheaper than Pepsi anymore. It's the cheapest of all the options out there. That am at the front and isten at the end tells you we've reached the top. That's the peak.
Okay, section 4. So you've got the 3 main rules down pat. That's awesome. But now, let's talk about the curveballs, the exceptions. And honestly, getting these right is what separates a beginner from someone who sounds really natural.
Okay, so the first tricky thing is the umlaut. Those 2 little dots. For a lot of short, common adjectives, especially ones with an A, O, or U, you have to add an umlaut when you make them comparative or superlative. So alt for old doesn't just become alter, it becomes älter. And gross for big becomes größer. It's a little sound change you just have to listen for.
And then you have the completely irregular ones. And you know what? This is just like English. We don't say gooder, we say better. German does the same thing. You absolutely cannot say guter for better. It's always besser. And you don't say viele for more, it's mehr. These words basically break all the rules, so you just gotta memorize them. These 3 on the screen are the big ones. That last one, gern, is a little special. It's about what you like to do. So when you compare activities,
You don't really say you like it more. Instead, you say you prefer to do it. That's where lieber comes in. So, ich spiele lieber Tennis als Fußball means I prefer to play tennis over football. It's a really common and natural way to talk about your preferences.
Okay, last section, number 5. We're in the home stretch. Let's finish up with some traps and pro tips. I'm going to show you the most common mistakes people make so you can just, sidestep them completely.
Okay, listen up, because this is the #1 most common mistake I see. People mix up als and v all the time. But the rule is super simple, so let's lock it in right now. Are the things the same? You use so, v. Are they different? You use als. That's it. Same is v, different is als. Got it?
The other big trap? Trying to make the irregular words follow the regular rules. Your brain is going to want to say guter or guten testen. I get it. But you have to fight that urge. It's besser, am besten. There's no shortcut here. You just have to burn those special forms into your memory.
All right, you ready for a little pop quiz? Let's put this into practice. How would you fill in the blanks here to say, my car is faster than your car? Mein Auto is blank, dein Auto. Take a second. Think about it.
And the answer is schneller als. Mein Auto ist schneller als dein Auto. Why? Well, we're comparing two different cars, so we need that er ending on the adjective schnell, and the magic word for different comparisons is als. If you got that, awesome job.
And that's pretty much it. You've just unlocked the core rules of German comparisons. Seriously, from as good as to better to the absolute best, you now have the tools. So the only real question is, what are you going to compare first? Go try it out. Thanks for joining me on this explainer.